What's up, you guys? Steven here for Off the Shelf Movie Night to talk to you about physical media, about the way we like to buy and own and watch our movies and TV shows anytime we want on a physical disc, whether it's DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever. This is my second video today, so I think I'm kind of dragging it a little bit. The previous video was quite long. It's almost 30 minutes, which is a long YouTube video for me, but that's already up there. By the time you see this, should have been up a couple of days. So anyway, this is a very quick unboxing, but if I can actually get to doing it, it's going to lead into something bigger. So what I'm talking about is I've been promising over on TikTok and in some other places that I'm going to do a video on the new French extremism movement of horror films, which started in the late 90s. If you don't know about that, then, hold your horses because I'll get to it. And you will not regret it, because if you don't know about it, you're about to be introduced to some incredible horror films. Some of my favorite horror films are from the new French extremism movement. Now, the reason that comes up is because my unboxing today is from one of the modern directors of that movement that's still doing that stuff. I mean, it kind of disappeared in the mid-2000s, so it's only a couple of directors now that are doing it, and the one I'm going to talk about right now is Gaspar Noe. If you look him up on IMDb, I think he has 30 or 32 directing credits. That's misleading. He only has a very small handful of films. He's done a lot of short films, music videos, and TV. So his films, though, I think they're a long time in the making because they're a lot. They're a lot. His most well-known film is this one right here. This is the one that everybody knows. They don't know the director maybe, but they know this notorious film. And it's notorious deservedly so. Irreversible tells a story of a young couple that go out on the town for a night, and they have a fight. The woman leaves on her own, and she ends up getting brutally sexually assaulted. I guess I should be using essay. I know that's what we do on TikTok, but anyway, it's a very hard scene to watch. Then, her boyfriend goes out to get revenge, and those scenes are pretty tough too, but the essay sequence is one of the hardest of that type of sequence that's ever been put on film. So that is the film that he's known for. I'm going to talk about two pickups that I imported from Arrow Films. We have talked about the luxury of an all-region Blu-ray player. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it because you can get access to some things that you might not be able to get otherwise. I've heard a rumor that his 2009 film Enter the Void might get a U.S. release, but I doubt it's going to be like this. Look at this special limited edition that Arrow Video did for Enter the Void from 2009. It is a beautiful, beautiful box. It's got that little bit of spot UV happening there. It does take some fingerprints. On the inside, we have the DVD. I flipped the reversible artwork to the original poster. There is disc art. And let's see, I'll show you real quick. We have some art cards, and I think I've talked about it before. I have mixed feelings about art cards because they're really just screen caps. I would rather have like a bunch of different posters, but not every movie gets a lot of different posters. Some movies get the same poster in every country. So I'll just show you these art cards really quick. So if you don't, and I'm saying so a lot, if you don't know this movie, it tells the story of a drug dealer living in Tokyo with his prostitute girlfriend who gets killed. And that's not a spoiler. That is actually in the synopsis because that's a small part of the movie. It's what it does after he gets killed that is important. It tells the story of life and death, I guess through his last seconds after he's killed. And it's a psychedelic, almost like drug-induced trip through life and death. I've never seen a movie like it. It's told from the first-person perspective. It's told from his perspective. So we've had other films do that since then, but this is the one. And no film has still done it to the level that this one does. It is made up of Noe's signature floaty camera. So the camera just sort of floats from place to place. There's a lot of long oneers in there. This movie has like actual sex in it. It's not pornographic sex where, like you have all the things that go with that, but it is something real that's happening on screen. So, I think it's fair enough to warn you. Comes with a beautiful, perfect bound book. But you've never seen Tokyo like this before. It's stunningly beautiful. It's abrasive. It's transgressive. It's sad. It's happy. It's, anger-inducing. It's an emotional journey. I'm looking here to see if I can see a picture that maybe doesn't spoil things, because we've talked about this before. I love these books, but these books are for people who've seen the movie. If you're buying a movie cold, I recommend... can't show you that. Can't show you that. Not looking through the book too much till you've watched the movie for the first time. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, though, with a lot of great essays in it. There is also a full-size poster, which I'm not going to unfold right now. It's the same two pieces of art you've seen, the slipcover and the actual classic artwork. This is one of Arrow's box limited editions. It's like it passes the tap test right there. It's very nicely made. Probably more than I would have ever seen this movie get, packaging-wise and presentation-wise. Irreversible, that one is also quite beautiful, and it was done, I believe it is, it's a second sight release, and it's equal to this. Irreversible is the movie that people know, even though they don't know the director. It's stunning. This movie, I highly recommend it. The director's cut is around 2.5 hours long, so it is a journey. It is lengthy, and it's a lot. So also I picked up, and they came out both Arrow UK, so these are both imports. They're both Region B locked, so you've got to have access to Region B to play it. His movie, Lux Eterna. This is a 50-minute film. It's a short film. So Lux Eterna tells the story of two actresses, and one of them is Beatrice Daly, who, if you are a fan of the New French extremism, you will know her immediately as the villain from the movie Inside. If you don't know that movie, we're going to talk about that when I do my video essay. She is a phenomenal actress, and she has a very striking look, and even more so a striking voice. Like, I knew her the minute I saw her. I was so thrilled. So she's playing herself in this film, along with another actress. I've got to tell you her name here, Charlotte Gainsbourg. And they're both playing themselves on a film set. They're telling stories about witches and witch burning as they get ready for this film shoot. But the movie is more than that. It has so much to say about cinema and about women in cinema and how women are treated in film. And it does it in such a unique way. The more impactful this movie got, the more difficult it got to watch, the more challenging it got to watch, the more anxiety-inducing it got, the more sort of thrilled and joyful I became, because it was saying something important and doing it in such a incredibly unique way. You ever went to a film that didn't necessarily build up like positive feelings in you? Like, this one is meant to be anxiety-inducing, but at the same time you felt joy because you were really seeing something special and seeing something unique. Maybe that's just me and how I interpret art and how I feel about film in particular. But that's the feeling I had with this movie. I wish I could have seen it in the theater, but I am very happy I got to see it cranked up loud on my big screen here in the movie room, because it needs that. The bigger the screen, the better. Gaspar Noé's movies are all kind of like that. They're big screen experiences, so I always recommend seeing them on the largest screen possible. This didn't play in the theater here, so this is the only way I got to see it. And what was funny is, like I said, it's 50 minutes. The last 20 to 30 minutes, I was standing. My anxiety was so high watching these people on this film set. And I don't want to get too much more into it than that, except to tell you this is what can happen on a film set to the 100th degree. It has all of that going on. Meanwhile, it has a really crucial and important message. So it's such a good movie. You guys, it's such a good movie. So the artwork on the inside is reversible, but it's very subtly reversible. I haven't flipped it yet, but I will. Yeah, I can't say too much more about this movie without spoiling it. I'm just going to say, if you're someone who is a student of film or someone who really appreciates the art of filmmaking or appreciates, the art history and the impact that film as an art has on people, this is a movie you should seek out and see. And I think the only way you're going to be able to do that is to import this movie, because I think a partner label for Vinegar Syndrome is going to get it, but they won't. They might do an even prettier job with the packaging. They may do something a little bit more aggressive, because the partner labels tend to do really cool stuff with Vinegar Syndrome. But I don't know if they're going to have all these Arrow Video extras. So I highly recommend it if you have an all-region player. It's not super expensive. I think it was £18, which is something like $25. And it has a very nice slipcover. So this is a nice package to begin with. And Arrow did such a great job bringing this movie to life. I get so exuberant about this movie because it says such important things. It takes place during, the movie's actually not, it doesn't take place during it. It was made during France's Me Too movement, and it speaks on it and has important things to say about it, and it does it in such a unique way. It's not so abrasive, but I don't want to spoil what it does. You just got to see it. Anyway, I love Gaspar Noe. His movies, again, they take you on a physical and emotional journey, so they're tough for a lot of people. I think this one is watchable by most people. This one is an endurance test. It is beautiful and has a wonderful story, but it is an endurance test. It's very difficult to watch. While this one is not new, I only bring it up because it's Gaspar Noe, and that's the one people know. This one is definitely not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get excited about these releases too. Seek them out because they are so great. I love Gaspar Noe. Anyway, till next we meet, pull something cool off the shelf, share it with friends and family, and remind them why physical media is the best way to watch films and TV at home. I'll see you guys on the next one.